You are listening to an update from Washington with the Congressman from Alabama's 1st Congressional District, Bradley Byrne. Now from our nation's capital, Congressman Byrne.
Well, welcome into this week's edition of An Update from Washington. This is Seth Morrow, joined with Congressman Bradley Byrne. And Congressman, today we're talking about the Christmas season. Obviously, when we get to Christmas time, it's, everybody spends time with their families, but it's real easy to forget about our service members overseas who aren't able to be with their families this time of the year.
Seth, that is so true. We have a lot of people deployed both on ships abroad and in various countries abroad. And while we try to give them an experience of Christmas abroad, they're still not home with their families. So we ought to always remember those servicemen and women that are over there protecting us and their families that are back home here missing the people and their families who are serving abroad. So let us never forget what they're doing for us, because they're the only thing that stands between us and a lot of danger that's in the world out there.
Another group that sometimes we forget about, especially around the holidays, are law enforcement personnel who also have to continue to work throughout the holidays.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate fact of life that bad people don't stop doing bad things at the holiday time. So our policemen, our sheriffs, our firemen, paramedics, nurses, people that work in emergency rooms, they're all working over the holidays at different times. And so they're what stands between us and another type of danger and harm and injury and illness. So let's remember them this Christmas time as well.
I saw where recently you put up a tree in your Washington, D.C. office, and you had some help getting some ornaments for that.
Yeah, we had some school children from Gulf Shores and from the Irvington area send us some ornaments that they made in class. And quite frankly, I prefer those kind of ornaments anyway. They're beautiful ornaments. The children put a lot of work into it. I love having them. I'm very grateful to have those in office. And it sort of adds to our office sort of feeling right now to have somebody from home send us something to put on our tree.
Well, what are some of your favorite Christmas traditions? Do you have any?
Oh, yeah. We're a big family at Christmas time. My oldest son, Patrick, was born on Christmas Day, so we have to have a birthday on Christmas Day. But we stay together in the house. We make gumbo on Christmas Eve. We go to church on Christmas Eve as a family. It's very important to us. We get up Christmas morning like everybody else. We now have a grandchild, and he's old enough this year to sort of know what's going on. We're going to enjoy being with him. But the most important thing about all that, besides eating and enjoying one another's company, is that we remember what the real meaning of Christmas is by remembering the Christmas story and by being together as a family and to make sure we enjoy one another and spend time with one another in a way that where we're exhibiting the love to one another that I think God showed to us by bringing Jesus into the world in the first place.
And this time of the year, obviously, usually a very happy time, and it is again this year, but there's a lot of people who have fear and concern, and they look at the world and they're worried and disappointed. What would you say to those people?
Well, first of all, I want to say to everybody in our district and anybody from around the nation that are listening, we are working very hard to protect the American people. We know we have to do better, but we are working very hard, and our servicemen and women and our first responders are doing a pretty darn good job. So I don't want people to be afraid. I want people to have the confidence that everything that can be done is being done to protect them. And we also need to know that all of us have a role to play there, too. Our own vigilance, staying on top of things, seeing something that's not quite right and reporting it, that's important, too. Don't forget this at this time of year, and this is in the Gospel of John. John goes off and talks very strongly at the very beginning of his Gospel about the bringing light into the world. Well, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness hadn't overcome it, so we should not let the darkness overcome the light of America in this very important time of year.
Definitely a very important message, very timely message as well. Congressman, Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Seth, and Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Everybody have a great holiday.
You have been listening to an update from Washington with Congressman Bradley Byrne. Congressman Byrne encourages you to contact him with any comments or questions. You can email him online at byrne.house.gov or find him on Facebook under U.S. Representative Bradley Byrne. Stay tuned to this station next week for another timely report from our nation's capital. This broadcast has been pre-recorded.